Yes, that will set us up for very exciting finals.
100%. So top right of Takamak. It is another Protoss player. His name is Classic.
And in the bottom left, representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. Both of these guys, sorry.
Yes. No, go ahead.
Both of these guys, I believe, were top 4 at DreamHack Dallas, I want to say.
To DreamHack Dallas 2025. So many players. Okay, there we go. No, but quarterfinals.
Oh, okay. Was Cure not?
Wait, no. Am I at the right one? DreamHack Dallas 2025. Yeah?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no. Classic made it to the semifinals. Cure got knocked out by Shin.
Okay.
In bracket A.
Oh, really? Wow, I thought he made it further. Maybe I'm thinking of like the GSL or something.
Maybe. Yeah, and then Shin knocked out Creator too.
Okay.
Shin was just taking skulls.
We'll have to have Shin in the next one.
Apparently. And then Hero knocked out Rogue before the playoffs. So only Classic made it to the semifinals of our group today.
All right, so a little bit of probe harassment, forcing Cure to do the little dance with his SCVs. The probe tucks itself in a corner for a moment before going back on in. That's just so it will avoid the Reaper. Now, Cure did go for a Marine, though, so he will be able to push this probe off and actually get a kill on it, which is quite nice.
Yeah, looking good. Twilight Council on the opening here out of Classic. Probably going to be Blink. A little bit of Blink pressure. Blink's good for defense here, too. Really keeping the action on the other side of the map with Stalkers is nice in this matchup. Because as soon as the Terran kind of gets out on the map, it can be pretty tough. Yeah, Adept gets right up to the top of that ramp. Not afraid of anything, really. That's kind of cool. Because that is a third CC on the way. And yes, eventually you'll kill that supply depot, but it's going to be a minute.
Yeah, Adepts are not the best against buildings.
No.
Thank gosh for that. Okay, so the Adept does get shown the door. The Reaper is still dancing around. So far, Classic has done a good job keeping the Reaper out, and now a Stalker is tapped to push it out once more, so Cure will not get into the main, not get a probe kill. Or, he did get a probe kill, but that was the Marine earlier. We've now got Classic trying to poke on the front. Does get the Widow Mine at the expense of an Adept.
Yeah, that's a fair trade. That Widow Mine's not going to be causing any more problems for these Stalkers. But yeah, Marines, Hellions not great against the Stalkers, obviously, but providing a little bit of damage nevertheless. Yeah, Blink's starting up now on that Twilight. Third base coming in.
Oh.
Reaper almost gets a block there, but the Stalker makes sure that's not going to happen.
Yeah, Cure is going for a Widow Mine drop. This is one of the really nice things about Classic making that trade of the one Adept for the mine. It means he's only got to deal with one mine in his mineral line, which is a lot nicer.
It is. Still kind of sucks, but yes.
It does. I'd make an analogy, but it's literally dealing with an explosive mine, so it kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, we'll sack the one probe for it. Cure doesn't try to play the games at all, and we're fine.
Okay, now the Reaper does make it into the natural, sees a couple of extra gateways building, And then gets a probe, I believe. Yes, a probe. Now, that's actually quite nice for Kier, seeing with the two sort of arcs that he scouted on, because he saw that there was only 3 gates from Classic, which means it's probably just going to be the routine pressure. Brilliant Marine placement from Kier, as Classic tries to go for a sneaky blink and gets punished heavily for it. Well, actually very lightly for it.
Yeah.
Just one Stalker died after blinking into a ton of Marines past a bunker, but that is a little bit of a check on Classic there. Nicely done by Kier. High Templar gets warped in.
Auto turret harass. Oh, the feedback on the Raven is nice.
Womp womp on that Raven. Now we've got a Stalker, a single Stalker for Classic. I really like that. Just having it there to identify the timing of the move out by Kier. The Protoss is probably chrono boosting Psystorm out, as he knows there's a bio timing coming his way. The Stalkers will try and buy a little bit of time.
Here we come. Siege Tank, Marine, Marauder, scary stuff. All of those things are bad for Stalker. Psystorm's on the way. Will it be done in time? It kind of looks like it's being chrono boost. Immortals coming in here too.
Yeah.
Knock down the cooling tower. Do it for science. I mean, we already know what happens, but do it again. It's cool.
No Prism yet for Classic, but I'm excited to see if he adds one of those on to sort of shuttle the High Templar around at some point. For now, he is just building a battery, warping in Zealots, focusing on the muscle of his defense. He's got 4 High Templar on the front. No Psystorm drop just yet. One Widowmine gets taken care of as Kier is forced back. A scan gets dropped, but doesn't really enable any pickoffs or anything like that. Stalker's baiting out the mine. Oh.
Oh, the blink dodge. Yeah, he knew that was coming. Good stuff. All right, man. War Prism, mobility, beyond belief available there. Kier's third base landing in, fully defended by the entire army.
Yeah, and he does have quite a beefy army, so as long as he doesn't eat horrendous Psystorms, he should be fine here. But it's still very precarious dealing with said High Templar. There is what I guess was probably just like oh no, it was just the Medivac, I think, heading back from the Widowmine drop much earlier. The Raven is still parking there. The Terran's adding in a depot, positioning some mines at the natural, as the Protoss is going to try and bait Kier into some Psystorms here, and we do have 2-3 storms going down, catching a lot of the bio, and that enables Classic just to waltz right on into the natural of the Terran. But this is a big commitment by the Protoss. He's got only a few more Psystorms to cover himself. There's one on a bunch of the SCVs, 11 of them going down. The bio eating another Psystorm. Apparently there was a couple more, but still, it's a big commitment by Classic. So he recalls some of his Zealots and Stalkers to save what he can. Will this Prism go down fully loaded with High Templar? That's the big question. Is there any Psystorm? Yes, there is. So more SCVs and bio will go down, and that Prism is still alive. Oh my gosh, the Prism may actually get out of there. All the High Templar die, but the Prism survives, so that's nice. There's potential for that outposition Cure later on. And look at that. Classic already used his energy recharge, I believe, in order to rejuice one of these High Templar. That's something that's so important for Protoss players to do, is to basically, as soon as they know I'm going to need defensive High Templar, to use it, because they will have it back up in 60 seconds after that, which could save his bacon potentially, as it's only got 30 seconds on the clock again.
100%. There's so many Marauders in that group. I don't know if I like Colossus here.
It is a lot of Marauders. A very thick Terran army. Kier is trying to reestablish his economy behind this. He's at 55 SCVs. Oh, that bio is very stim now.
Yeah. HP's looking low, not good. The chasing of the Zealots, they're being slowed, but not too much of a problem. More Colossus being produced here, man. More High Templar all the time as well. Splash damage for days. Here from Classic is at 74 to 58 workers, and even with mules here, he is had pretty substantially in that income tab.
Yeah, he really is. It's looking quite nice for Classic. I mean, it can kind of sometimes be a bit misleading because Protoss tends to mine more gas. So you're like, oh, their minerals are even. But then it's like, well, the Protoss is actually mining quite a bit more gas than the Terran. So it's very...
Helps a lot.
Yes, definitely. Now, we do have Classic moving with his split army, engaging what is basically the whole bio force of Cure. High Templar are very good, beautiful triple feedback on the Ghost, saving the High Templar from being EMP'd.
Yeah, Classic's looking good. I mean, people talked for years about how PvT was this unstoppable, unworkable matchup for Protoss, but I mean, with Hero doing what he's doing and how Classic's looking right now.
Yeah. And this game has just been played out in the sense that Cure, he tried to poke and prod a little bit, but he's ultimately just had to accept I took damage early on, so I'll build a fourth base and hopefully take a very good army fight later on as he drops 4 mules, which does make me think he needs turrets, as DTs can very well be a thing later on in PvTs.
100%. Love it when they are. Warp Prism gets in. No turret kills the first one. Second one makes it in. Yes. Zealots in your main base. The Vikings will clean out the Warp Prism, so it's not a ton of Zealots, but it's enough to be annoying. Zealots all up in the third base causing major issues there too. Colossus and Storm. The 1-2 combo of the Psy Storm looking great. More Psy Storms coming in. Disruptor shot, catching a ghost, not doing great, but hey, any ghost that dies is a big deal. Another ghost goes down.
Yeah, that was so quick and chaotic, but it seems that it went all right for Cure, as Classic really fell down in the army supply.
Yeah, 100% here, but he's lost 25 SCVs at 74 to 55 workers now. Classic expanding down the right side at the same time, working on a +3. And expanding here to the 11 o'clock too. So, I mean, he's really taking the opportunity to expand a bunch. Can he hold on to those is the question.
Yeah. It looks like Cure is just letting him hold on to that for now. I mean, gone are the days in which Terran would, like, frantically try and kill the Protoss as soon as they took a slightly good fight. Cure's like, yeah, I'll just use this as an opportunity to get my fourth base. He's building 5 ghosts at a time. He's got 2-2 on the way and is establishing his planetary here, but still, he's got to respect the 6 disruptors and many High Templar of Classic. There's one more good Psy Storm that goes down. The Colossus are kind of null and void with all these Vikings.
Picks off a medevac there too. Yeah, the Vikings are just doing great. No more Colossus in production, you can notice there. Definitely more High Templar instead.
Yeah, okay, the Terran's army is a little overstimmed in this corner by the planetary as the Protoss is looking to push on in. Cure will have to retreat in the face of this splash damage. It's very important he keeps this planetary alive, and he is eating some big Psy Storms. There's multiple disruptors. Psy Storms going down. The Terran had his army split, but the Vikings were just not helping in this scenario, and that is big losses for Cure as Classic gets in, gets the damage done, and then retreats, and he would need to fumble this hard, I think, to give Cure this game at this point.
He's losing disruptors because they're not very fast, and the slow is so good. EMP is getting tossed down on this army too, but I mean, charge lots still going to come in here, cause you problems. GG! Classic gets game 1. Protoss looking good today. Protoss looking strong.
Yeah. Classic had 16 gateways at the end of that game.
Not too bad. Not too bad a number to have. So GG's. Yeah, like I said, I mean, everyone was complaining about PvT for so long. Terran was looking unstoppable, murderous in this matchup. But then metas change, players figure stuff out. It kind of relates back to what you were talking about earlier in the stream and in the cast. Just that, you know, sometimes if something looks like we need a balance change to fix it, can mean the players just need to figure something out. Give them some time. Give them some room to experiment and try different things, and maybe they can figure it out on their own.
Yeah, you being a Brood War guy certainly know all about that. I'm sure seeing
Yes,
it.
exactly. 100%. Because, yeah, there hasn't been a balance change in Brood War since 2002. And we've got Zerg wins, we've got Terran wins, we've got Protoss wins. It's been a minute since we got Protoss wins. Protoss might have to figure some stuff out, but they did take the champ to 7 games in the final. So Protoss is close, I think.
All right, and in the upper right of Leylines, down 0-1, it's Cure.
And in the bottom left, it is Classic. Ooh, gotta step away for a second. I'll be right back.
No worries. All right, guys, you're stuck with me. Which means we can talk all about the fact that Kier should be battlecruiser rushing right now and why he's wrong not to. Okay, looks like we do have the Terran player just going for a Rax into Refinery. Classic, meanwhile, placing his gateways so that he'll be able to prevent that Reaper getting into his main base. He did a pretty good job of that in the previous match. It really is the Terran that decides basically when the Reaper game ends, if they want to commit in with it, or they can, in theory, just keep it alive and poke and prod forever, but Terrans are humans, and humans are lazy, so at some point they usually do just sack it for the scout. For now, we do have Classic going for a probe scout, which, as an observer, who also is commentating, is something that I think most commentator observers appreciate, because you can just lock onto it and just sort of think about the way the game is going to progress, what we're going to see here. Yeah, it really is very cool to see, because when you think of Kier's PvT, you think of him as someone that's like a 3-Rax diehard, but the fact that he is willing to play the game out and go into a 4th command center and potentially just sit back and turtle when he's down is very impressive. In hindsight, maybe he should have tried to kill Classic after taking that good defense, but yeah, we'll just have to see if we get a similar situation.
Okay, I'm back. Just had someone drop by. Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Hey, look, it's the Twilight Council.
It is the Twilight Council, and it's totally scouted.
Reaper says, haha, no match for me, warping and building. There was a time that was true, Mr. Reaper, but those days are gone. Trying to relive the old glory days. Oh, a little Stalker micro against a bunker is interesting.
Yeah. That's Classic trying to get absolute maximum value. Repair ain't free, so... Nicely done on that. I actually, like, looking at this Twilight in the wall, it's like, you think, it's like, why would the Protoss make this so obvious? But I guess it's because of the map, in which Kier could jump up with the Reaper and poke and see anything that was built attached to this pylon here. So if he built it in the main, it would be seen, so he may as well just use it in the wall on the low ground to prevent Hellions and that kind of thing later.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I can see that being the rationale here for Classic. Getting that blink. Again, it's safe, it's aggressive. It's kind of like speed for Zerglings, where, yeah, you get speed. You can use it to defend, you can use it to attack, but it's always good to have. I never really ever want to skip blink unless you're going for some kind of resonating glaives all in against a Zerg.
Okay, we do get a recall from Classic, I guess, just knowing the timings. that there is a Widowmine drop coming his way. And he's got his Stalkers in the perfect position here.
I mean, the man's been Widowmine dropped for about 4,000 times. That's probably low. Like 4 million times.
Okay, Kier goes for it, but then turns around and says, all right. Look at that forest, by the way. Templar Archives, once again from Classic.
Yeah, just waiting for charge, waiting for Psy Storm. Ooh. Good snipe there.
Oh, nice feedback.
Almost takes it down. Not quite enough energy to cause a death there.
That
Yeah, so the medevac's like, let's not try that.
I wonder if Classic's gonna go for that with the Stalkers or not. Oh. Ooh, bit of a misplay by Classic.
Yeah, definitely. Should have been able to blink out of there pretty easily. I don't know the last time I saw Protoss screw that up, but
Yeah, I guess he just
really not the end of the world.
didn't expect a mine to actually be there and burrowed. And I really like
Maybe.
this from Kier, just unloading the mines on the way of sending the medevac home, because he knows the Protoss may have tried to pick it off. This Zealot, very lucky to have stopped walking.
Additional supply depots required.
Doesn't mean he can't walk later.
That is
He's
true.
still got legs.
He does still have legs. Okay, now we do have Cure finishing up his third command center. +1 attack is done, and he is moving out for a push. He seems to have his eye on the fourth base of Classic. Classic, who's got 5 High Templar ready to storm, but maybe not in position.
No, he does force a cancel on the Nexus there, too. That's a big win right there. 3 bases instead of 4 bases is a big, big, big change to your economy.
It really is. Now we do have a bit of a race unfolding here as Classic goes towards the third base of Cure, the third base that just had a fresh SCV transfer that could be vulnerable. 2 High Templar with Psystorm, and we do see 1 Psystorm go down, 2 Psystorms. This means that Zealots can potentially get a flank on the softened bio, as Cure is in a little bit of trouble eating yet another Psystorm. 2 more. Classic just has so many Storm with this playstyle, and now the Terran is retreating for his life.
Yeah, SCVs transferring through an active war zone. A bunch of them do make it to safety, though, which is nice.
Okay.
But, yeah, Protoss army sitting out there. Psystorm pretty gone. We morphed in an Archon instead, and Cure feels safe enough to maybe land back in that command center.
Yeah, auto
I don't know
turret
if
gets
that's true.
dropped. EMP is landing. He is trying to force Classic away, and he does eventually, losing 8 SCVs, but maintaining an overall supply lead, just barely. He's also got his +1 armor, about to finish up that Widowmine that was burrowed earlier. Does get a connection off.
Bam. All right, where are we at? 72 to 57 army supply. Widowmine denying an expansion here. Pretty hot stuff. Colossus being the tech of choice here for now, recognizing no ghost count fairly hefty, picking out the Widowmine at that potential expansion location there up the left side.
Yeah, and there goes Kier looking for the 4th. Ghosts are in position, but the High Templar are trailing, so EMPs will have to be used a moment later to connect with them. One Psystorm goes down. There's 2 more, and the Terran is just running through them, grabs the Prism, and the Protoss just doesn't have enough to buffer to finish off these softened up bio units for a moment.
Yeah, reinforcements do come in, though. And that was a really overstimmed group for a second. Medivacs, I'm given a chance to heal them at least a tiny bit.
Kier just fires up his armory and eBay, so his 2-2 is going to be very, very delayed, whereas Classic is already heading towards 2-1, so that's something for the Protoss to potentially look forward to if this game goes on that long. There's only 1 Viking for the Terran now to contend with the Colossus, as Kier has to frantically retreat in the face of Archons, High Templar, and that 1 Colossus.
A 1 Colossus without range. Not exactly the scariest thing ever, but, you know.
No.
Could be worse this stage of the game. Army supply about even. Classic's worker count looking pretty good on the 4 bases here. Working on those upgrades. We've got Vikings coming in. EMP on the obs and the snipe. Excellent little combo there from Cure. And Classic expanding again. I love this from him.
Yeah, it really is great for him. Yeah, he's just playing the PvT in a phenomenal way. Like, the amount of High Templar he's been building really is something. He's got only 4 right now, but he has got lots of other splash in his army. So 4 Archons, 3 Colossus, 2 High Templar on the ground, 2 in the Prism, and he's looking to potentially catch the Terran off guard. Kier's moving, looking to secure his 4th, but he is potentially going to be very vulnerable. He doesn't see this army coming for him. A scan gets dropped, and Kier is unaware that this is coming for him, so he's going to frantically drop EMPs, but he's going to eat Psystorm, pulling the rest of his bio in to try and contend with this army. It's not a bad angle for the Terran. The Colossus are being picked off, and still, though, there is a lot of Protoss here.
Yeah, suddenly it's 90 to 30 army supply. What an engagement. GG. Classic. GG. The time of the Protoss is upon us, brethren. Nobody will ever win again. It's only Protoss from here on out. Wow. Yeah, Classic just going 2-0 there, making it look, I mean, not easy, but that was a pretty chill win against Cure. Yeah, he did, you know, lose a Nexus there. Yeah, there were some problems with EMPs, certainly, but great storms. Colossus died, but there was enough left over that it didn't really matter. And that was gorgeous. Just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Excuse me.
Yeah, it really was well executed by Classic. I think the only way that Cure potentially wins there is, like, if his bio is pre-set up and ready for the Protoss to come in. But when Protoss surprises you like that, it's just not a winnable fight for the Terran, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely not. When they can park in that position, it gets really tough.
Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in today. If you do enjoy the stream, make sure to click that thumbs up button, leave a follow. And yeah, just check out other streams on Soup once this one ends, as they've been sponsoring these events for years and years at this point.
Many years. Good support, for sure.
Okay. In the bottom right, with the 2-0 lead, it's Classic.
And in the top left, it is our Red Terran GSL champion, Cure. That's right, Joel Ming says, shout-outs to Soup.
Yeah, big shout-out to Soup.
What's your favorite kind of soup laughing games?
Oh, probably like salmon chowder.
Ooh. I don't think I've ever had a salmon chowder.
Oh, I think I've probably only ever had it once, and it might have been the circumstances which I had it in, but like it was so darn good.
So it's like potatoes and chunks of salmon.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. That sounds delicious. I didn't know that was an option.
Oh, I highly recommend it. I am just a big fan of salmon, so.
Yeah, salmon's great. 100% with you on that one. Yeah, I just figured chowder's always had to be clam. My mind has been expanded. I know more now. Hooray.
What's your favorite kind of soup?
Ooh, I'm a big fan of broccoli cheese.
Ooh, nice.
I also really love a good French onion. French onion is incredible when it's done well.
Man, now I'm gonna have to have some soup.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I got some chicken noodle in the cupboard. Fire some up after the cast. Little midnight soup excursion.
Dang, those are cool bridges.
They are cool bridges. Remember how in the map description it only talks about the bridges?
Oh, does it?
It does. It's like there are bridges in the middle. You can't build on them. It's like, yeah, okay, thanks, man. Like, is there anything else about the map? He's like, no, just the bridges. He's very proud of them for some reason.
Yeah, I wonder if the map maker designed these, or if they were part of the game originally.
I mean, I feel like we've seen light bridges before. Maybe not that exact kind, exact design.
Okay, we've got an Adept versus a Reaper and a Hellion as the dance begins. Classic does get repelled. The SCV staying alive is very important for the Terran not to lose too much production time on that. The Adept is coming back on in, but cancels the Shade. You can note that Classic has... He sent out that Shade pretty much at the maximum distance because he wanted to be safe with the Adept. Like, he was already on the way home upon throwing it out. And that was a very wise call, as Kier is coming on in with 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. We'll see if he's able to get any damage done, just sending the Reapers into the main base. And there's only a battery to defend, but Reapers have very high damage versus light units, so we'll see how many probes are going to die. Apparently none so far.
Yeah, if you don't one-shot a thing, he does get 1 probe, but that's going to be about it as the Stalker chases him out.
Man.
And Stalkers and Adepts waiting on the low ground as well. Hellions come in and roast up a couple probes immediately. Up to 5 there. But sentry damage, pretty good. Force fielding the ramp. Yeah, there you go. The Hellions are like, are you going to forget? Are you going to forget? No.
Man, StarCraft interactions are comedy sometimes. Yeah, like, here's like, he hasn't force fielded the ramp.
Can I get up there? Do it. Oh, no.
Yeah, so great defensive call by Classic. I mean, there's no way he could have known that he was up against multiple Reapers and Hellions, or at least that quantity. So, but he knew it was a double gas play based off the timings, I believe. So he just played it safe, built a battery in the main. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, he's just making it look like this is okay. We spent so many years where it was like, boy, Protoss sure can't beat Terran. And Classic's just like, nah, you can. Check this out. He's ready for the Widow Mine drop that's coming in here, too. Got Stalkers in. There you go.
Blink
One Stalker
literally
there.
just finished.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Medevac down. Yeah, he didn't get the Widow Mines, but it's okay. Ooh,
Oh, this is so
hallucinate
sick.
Some probes. Oh,
There's no way for
that's-
Kier to even know that that's a hallucination.
Oh,
That is so
sick.
smart.
Dude, we gotta split that out. That's gotta go on the shorts or something. That was great. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I'm sure it's been done, but that was cool.
It's one of the coolest things that, like, you use hallucination of probes and you get 4.
Right, for some reason.
Classic once more going for this Templar Archives. Cure has a third CC building in his main, but he did not get much damage done successfully. And we'll see if he's going to change it up at all. Like, say, add in more tanks to try and really lock things down when he's on the defense, or just try going for more drops, because High Templar aren't perfect against that. We see the Observer skedaddle on out of there. That's a little frustrating to deal with as the Terran.
100%. I mean, that's just a beautiful scout. Can't ask for more. Best scouting unit in the game. Invisible and a detector. Ugh. And observation mode, so you don't F2 it with the rest of your army anymore. No, wonderful. Zaz says Storm is late. Cure's gonna win. All right, let's see what we get. Auto turret harass. Being auto turrety gets a couple probes.
Yeah, and they actually killed a High Templar there.
Ooh, all right.
So that's quite nice. Instead of the Raven getting feedbacked this time, it just brought the pain to that High Templar.
It's amazing how games like 2 matches in the same series can be so similar, but then so different.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Kier, once again, he's moving out. This army looks very similar to the previous match.
It does. Psystorm's done. Charge lots ready to go. Into that choke seems like a really bad idea. Kier's like, yeah, you're right. Good call. Let's go home. Blink dodge. Maybe kill a Marauder. Lose a Stalker in the process. That's a fair trade. Blink dodge that one, you filthy casual.
Yeah, so a bit of a different interaction there in that in the previous game, Classic Kier moved out and he canceled the 4th of Classic. In this game, Classic didn't have the 4th up yet, so there was no base to shut down. Now Kier, he does have the Ghost Academy on the way, Armory on the way, double Viking production beginning. The Raven back with the army. Oh, High Templar getting very far forward there.
Careful, boys. Everything's fine. No need to worry.
And there is 6 of them.
And then it's just Colossus, Extended Thermal Lance on the back of it. Like, Classic's doing the same thing. Cure's not really changing it up either. Oh, Storm on the
my
SCVs!
gosh.
9 SCVs die.
And the best part is there's going to be like another 5-6 storms at least.
Right.
Like,
way too many High Templar to be reasonable.
Protoss building this many High Templar is just phenomenal. I need to watch some of Clem's PVTs. Like, what does Clem do against this? Because...
Against mass Psystorm?
Yeah, like, it seems pretty difficult.
Are you seriously just going to get in here? He's just going to get in here, I guess.
Okay, where are the Vikings?
All the SCVs run from the main base. All the income going away. Now, Cure's like, oh, there's stuff in my main, huh?
And the Vikings need to go kill the Prism, sir.
Marines can kind of keep it away, but yeah, killing... Oh, there you go. Recall out.
Okay, now in goes the Protoss, pushing the front.
Couple Psystorms go down. Nothing too much lost there from Cure. His army is big. Some of it was in the main base, obviously.
But it doesn't matter how big your army is when your opponent has like 12 Psystorms in the chamber. It's just more stuff to be stormed, so I'm not sure what Cure should do here.
What's our Viking count? Colossus.
It's currently 5.
Yeah, only 5 Vikings, but being pumped 2 at a time here. Double pumped. Another more Prism in your main base again.
How might just about that?
He might just be like, you know what? Fine.
That's just acting recklessly against High Templar, though, and hoping to get damage done does not work, as we see one Psystorm already softening up a lot of the Ghosts. Classic will forfeit this Nexus, though, which is nice for Cure, but he's going to have to really split his army and get set up if Classic is going for it, and Classic is going for it. Cure isn't really pre-splitting, And he's just running through the storms like a madman. But it's kind of working as he gets a Colossus, but then his army's so in the red, and he's got to retreat against this.
Trying to slow the pursuit with that concussive shell. EMP on the Archon kills it.
Yeah.
Vikings keep the Colossus away and might actually get another couple of them here. War Prism taking some hits as well.
Yeah, Classic might have paused his production. He does have a High Templar, and there's an energy recharge on it, so it does have 2 storms.
Medevac's getting sniped out. Still several remaining there. Widow Mines, Unburst, Reburrowing. Don't want any friendly fire splash here. Not looking good that way. Classic just needs to hold on. He's got 82 to 63 workers. His economy is great. He's expanded in the bottom left here. Kier's got 60 workers on 3 bases. More Vikings being added, and still going into Colossus here is Classic. I don't know if that's the right move.
Yeah, we'll see how many Vikings Kier rebuilds. He does only have the 1 starport, whereas Classic has 2 robos, so he just finished up 2 more Colossus. So we have 4 Colossus versus 2 Vikings presently. And you can't really dive the Colossus when there's this much Psy Storm.
No.
Okay,
Disruptors
Kier.
being added in, going for more of that splash damage. All the splash damage you can have is going to be good against a Terran.
Okay, the factory flag flying on out.
Phoenix has supported with 50 gems. Give us a nuke.
Okay, Kier out of position as the Protoss comes on in, and EMP hits the Stalkers, but the Stalkers are not the threat that needs to be EMP'd. We do have some Ghosts and Bio run forward, landing EMP on all the High Templar, actually. 2 of the Colossus are injured and do go down. SCV's being pulled, doing a great job buffering. Classic did overcommit with this one, as Kier slaps him down, grabs the last Colossus, but there is a Disruptor. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Disruptor, I think, just needs to run. It's got a Warp Prism to run with, if you're being fancy about it. Thanks for the 50 gems from Phoenix. He's asking for those nukes. Might not have much time left for the nukes.
We'll see. High Templar does get EMP'd. There is another in the Prism, though, but then it does get deleted after the 1 Psy Storm, so that is a nice opening of this engagement for Kier. He's got to split. Does eat the Disruptor shot. Disruptor does go down. Classic is on the back foot as Kier has been able to get up this ramp, and the Terran is kiting back against the Bio. Vikings take to the skies once more against these Colossus. The Bio stims forward, wanting to get the Colossus. That's 1 gone, 2 gone, and now it's just Bio versus Zealots being warped in. Classic is in trouble all of a sudden.
Absolutely. Army value 7 for Classic. He's got 80 workers, but that's it, man. Sometimes 80 workers and 7 worker supply doesn't get it done, and Kier takes the match, looking good in the process, giving some hope to Terrans everywhere after that 2-0 start. Yeah, a couple bad engagements is all it takes from Classic, and suddenly you're in a tough spot.
Yeah, thank you for the contribution of gems, Phoenix. Much appreciated. Okay.
All right. Fantastic plays. Let's get into our next game here. Going to be game number 3. Kier lives to fight another game. Excellent plays by him thus far. I mean, at least in that last game, getting some good wins. Like you said, he was kind of eating some storms, but sometimes you can, right? Sometimes you can sort of manage that.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it went wrong for Classic when he went for that attack, but he didn't have as many storms as he had before. Like, he had 3 High Templar, and they all got EMP'd, I think, in that fight that Kier snowballed off of. Next time I send my army to push through Storm, I'll say I'm playing like Kier.
Awesome. All right, we're on Last Fantasy. It's a 3-player map, folks.
That's illegal. What year is it?
Yeah, since when do we have to play on 3-player maps in StarCraft 2? That's not cool.
My brain, it can't handle it. No.
The angles, they don't make sense. speed zones are so cool. They're shaped like, I don't know, a tempest in the middle of the map. Some kind of a storm.
Yeah. You know what it looks like?
Mm.
Fidget spinner.
It does. Man, when's the last time you saw a fidget spinner?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Dude, like 4 years ago, Walmart was locking those up because kids were shoplifting them constantly. And I can't remember the last time I saw one. Like, what a flash in the pan. It's like slap bracelets when I was a kid.
The slap bracelets hurt.
Yeah, but they were cool.
Remember when like the metal would, or like the plastic would wear off them, so you'd just be getting slapped with like exposed metal?
You get like jagged corners. I think they got banned eventually in my school because kids were slapping them on each other and people were complaining about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Do you think like the physics hold up on like a slap bracelet? So like if you made one that was like 6 feet tall?
You like use it on a telephone pole.
Or you could be like a superhero and you're arresting like villains, and it's like, I'm slap bracelet man.
I don't have handcuffs, I have a giant slap bracelet. Man, is Saturday Night Live or like In Living Color or like Mad TV didn't do that back in the 90s? I don't know what they were doing. That's a great idea.
Oh no, Kier's scouting and he's looking the wrong way.
Oh no, how is he supposed to recover now? What's next? A 4-player map? This is insanity. I love it. 3-player maps are fun.
Meanwhile, there's a pro gamer at EWC sweating over a couple $100,000, like, and he's like, "Oh man, I wonder what corner he spawned into." I hope I get this right.
Man, good times.
Oh,
Yeah, 4-player maps used to be a thing. Just saying.
they did, and it was
glorious.
the game was so much slower back then too. Like that was like Heart of the Swarm.
Yes, Wings of Liberty for sure.
But
yeah, that's the difference. When they started with the 12-worker start, rushes were too fast, and so the 4-player maps were much, much, much harder to deal with.
Yeah, it would feel like years before you scouted your opponent.
And then by the time you scout them, there's already a bunker in your natural, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? SCV scout at the start of the game when you're spawning with 6 workers?
Right.
That's a 6 of your economy gone. Hallucinated Phoenix, giving Classic all the info.
Blinkety blink blink blink. More Raven stuff coming in here from Cure 2.
Yeah, we'll see if we get that Templar Archives thrown down from Classic.
Yeah, I really don't see any reason why he wouldn't.
He does fire up an Immortal. Observer coming on in to reveal the high ground, so Classic can blink in there if he wishes. But there's a Raven and a tank.
Yeah, 2 tanks and a Raven. No, thank you.
Not
a good blink location.
Beautiful wall by Kier. Oh, that Oh, is it this bait, or is he actually going to lose the observer? Auto turret to finish the job. Does get the observer.
Raven pretty injured. Is he going to repair it?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be nice. He is. Yeah, he knows. Too important to let die.
Man, that Raven really having its perks. Getting an observer and not having to burn a scan to do it is so nice for the Terran.
100%. I mean, we should see Ravens more and more often. Every game should have a Raven. They are good.
They are. Okay, he does have to be careful with said Raven. No stim yet. Although the first medivac is out. And, oh, it's actually just going to be a drop from here. We've also got these nifty terrain blockers to prevent the corners of the map being abused.
Yeah, it's like a big old fence.
It's actually so cinematic. That is like it's a nice looking fence.
Yeah, it's like you're in this big prison. Like it's I guess maybe it's just a fighting arena, which I guess makes sense for Starcraft.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Yeah. Doesn't really fit with the lore of Starcraft that well, but...
What even is the Thunderdome? I don't actually know what that's from.
I mean, isn't that from Warriors?
I have literally no idea. Okay, we do have a very quick engagement happening as Stalkers blink forward, trying to pick off the tanks. 2 Psystorms get dropped, but that is a lot of commitment from Classic as Kier holds that position, picks off the Immortal. However, the High Templar are still alive. That's very important. The Prism does go down, but not before it warped in some Zealots. So Kier loses a bunch of his army. Classic loses a bunch of his army. We're in this weird situation.
Yeah, Cybercore is going to get sniped there too, and it looks like the gateway is going to go down. Psystorm, nice dodge by loading in and then dropping in the main.
Fortunately for Classic, he does have gateways off of cooldown, so he warps in Zealots to respond to this. And now Classic is going to try and get on top of the tank here. Wisely unsieges it in time so he can lift it up in the medivac and save it. Now he's eyeing up the main base again. Is he going to go for the drop? Classic is totally out of position for this. Is Kier going to do it? Is he going to tie up the series potentially off the back of this drop? No, he's a coward. You coward, Kier.
He was really seriously considering that.
He's
Super
like, do
hard.
I do it? No, okay, well, he's doing it now. And yes, Classic is actually out of position. He was kind of timing it so that it would be a 2-pronged attack with Medivacs moving across the middle of the map towards the Protoss' 4th base. However, Classic does have a lot more stuff now to respond to this. Widowmine does go off. The bio is retreating and will have to boost on out of there. There's the second attack, though, finding the 4th.
Excellent job there. Pylon, good priority. Then maybe force a cancel on the Nexus on the top side. 12 o'clock's position.
Oh.
What is up there? Zealots, it looks like. High Templar. Oh, Widowmine takes down an Archon that was merging in.
Yeah, 9 SCVs. There must have been some storm drop there. Widowmine's coming on in, getting burrowed as Kier begins fighting with this smaller portion of his army. He does get a Widowmine connection. Classic can't afford to lose too much of his economy, but then again, neither can Kier's. It's 3-3 bases.
Yeah, Terran pretty happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Classic usually has a 4th base by this stage of the game, at least in this series. That's his goal, and just not happening. Zealots with speed, running through a speed zone. Very funny. Whee! Actually, like, jogging at that point.
The Usain Bolt Zealot. Just
yeah, seriously.
cooking. Okay, Classic.
Win the 100 meters at the Olympics.
Classic is looking to try and win the game here, actually, by catching Kier off guard, hoping the Terran is out of position for a big fight once again. He's got so many Zealots that he warped in on the defense, and now all of a sudden Kier has to react, and he's not reacting in time. He's barely microing his army. Whatever he was looking at was not worth eating those Psystorms. Still, though, the Terran has a lot of supply. There is another High Templar and a Colossus coming on in, and this is looking a little rough for Kier. Good EMP, though, and the Stalkers are committed to the north, very committed, in fact, as Classic realizes he can't take the winning fight.
No, not going to happen. He's going to kill a couple SCVs here, which is fine, but it's 80 to 20 army supply. All he can do is make a couple Colossus and hope, but there's no way he's going to handle this counterattack. Yeah, I think Cure just kind of moves down here, and that's it. That was a big all-in from Classic, and he's got nothing left.
No, he is completely on the back foot. I mean, I know I've been sort of hyping up High Templar in this series, but he's only got 2 against 6 Ghosts. There's an EMP from Cure.
Colossus without range. Snipes coming down here, too. Yeah, it is 90 to 30 army supply. No 4th base for you. Classic falling back and back and back and back and trying to get more Colossus. The extended
nice
thermal lance
EMP.
can't finish anytime soon. Yeah, sick EMP. And just got to be careful here. Another Colossus pops out. Another EMP does go down. Trying to target fire down the Colossus. Doesn't matter. GG. Cure ties it up.
GG. Well done by Cure.
Yo.
What's with the game sounds, says Ice Chingu.
Can you be more specific about what the game sounds are doing?
Yeah, they're not too quiet, I hope, or anything. Maybe I was tabbed out or something and the music wasn't playing. But I'm pretty sure I have continuous sound. So the sound seems low.
I mean, lower now than it was like an hour ago? Yeah, might be just you if nobody else is complaining about it.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate the feedback, so if it does seem too loud, just bring it up again later and we can, or too quiet, I mean, just bring it up later and then we can look into it. Feedback like that is very much appreciated, by the way, so genuinely thank you, because you never know how it's coming through to people unless people say something, and I mean, people tend not to report things. Like,
no.
If you're in any sort of problem-solving role, at some point people will be like, "Hey, this thing really sucks," and it's like, "What do you mean that sucks? Why is that happening?" And it's like, that's a huge problem. Why has no one brought this up?
Exactly. So yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, let us know if that continues. All right, we're at a 2-2.
Yeah, how about that? Okay. In the upper left, it is Classic.
And in the bottom right of Maganatha, it is Cure.
Yeah, Cure. Oh, is he proxying? You
Come
dirty
on,
dog.
man.
It's game 5.
Heck yes, it's time for a proxy. He hasn't done one yet today. He's itching to do it.
Okay, what do we get? Is it going to be Marauders? Early Marauders are some of the most fun things as a Terran player.
Yeah, I mean, with that concussive shell,
yeah.
absolutely. It almost feels unstoppable against Protoss if they don't scout it. Even if they do scout it sometimes, it's just like, man, 2 Marauders with slow are just so annoying.
Yeah. Oh, Classic is scouting, though. So we do see a probe dispatched.
Oh my
This
gosh,
could be
he's so
huge.
close. Take a right, man. Take a right.
No! That's heartbreaking for Classic, but
What a spot.
well done by Kier for choosing that location.
Yeah, Kier's done some research. He did that. Oh, man.
I mean, Classic does go to the main, so he will see that this is coming. And then he's gonna be like, what? What in tarnation? Okay, he doesn't cancel the Nexus. We'll see if he throws up a battery on the low ground as soon as this pylon is done.
He has to, right?
Yeah, this is just such a terrible position for the Protoss because the Terran is here. The Terran has got the first Marauder popping out now. Okay, there's the battery in the back. I guess Classic just needs to pull probes preemptively here. so that he can buffer and try and out micro cure, because if probes sort of tag and block the Marauders, then the Stalker can engage. And we do have this battery about to finish up, so like...
Yeah, concussive shell's not done yet.
No, like, is that all the Protoss needs? Because the batteries are pretty good, but here go the Marauders moving forward, going to kill a probe to start off, but Kier knows he can't commit into that many that much defense.
Definitely not without slow.
Oh, there's the boys. Okay, I was wondering if this was going to be the next step from the Terran player. Classic is not taking any chances, though. He throws up another pylon. We'll see if there's another battery as Kier's moving on in. He's got 5 Marauders working away on a gateway. That's actually important production that Classic doesn't really want to lose.
No.
And the SCVs are coming. 2 more Marauders are out as well. That's going to be 7 Marauders. That may be enough to out DPS a shield battery. There goes the probes. Classic will need some good force fields here, and he does have a sentry at full energy. The gateway gets canceled. There's another force field going down, but the Marauders are still alive, and Classic just has so little DPS because he did only have 1 gateway to build units. 1 Stalker goes down.
Good force field, catching and pinning a Marauder, killing that. SCVs are dying as well, but it's 20-6 army supply.
Yeah.
Force field's a little bit late on that. Just focusing down Stalkers because Marauders can do that, and that might be it. Wow.
Yeah, that 1 battery had some energy left on it, though. The sentry didn't get targeted down. Probes
I think it
are
did get
going
targeted,
down.
but the shield battery kept it alive for so long.
Yeah, yes. It looks like Kier's gonna do it, though. Like, 2 supply for the Protoss. The final probes are being pulled. The Stalker's dead, though. Classic just didn't have the production. Losing that gateway was quite a big deal. And
Yeah.
Kier
Trying to
pulled
have it in part of that wall.
Oh,
Bad.
yeah, he pulled the reverse sweep, I think.
Yeah, he did. He was down 2-0. He wins 3 games in a row. What a madman.